Hi everyone, it's Shams at Mascara, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the most beautiful marble design using the Maskscara Marble Inks. So you could do this in any color, but we're going to use the blue today because I think it just shows up beautifully on camera. So we're going to start off by doing 2 coats of the Mascara Gelatin Malibu, which is our brightest white polish. So 2 coats, cure each coat for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to be using the Mascara Velvet Matte Top Coat to seal my Malibu white gel. Now the reason why I'm using the Mascara Velvet Matte is because I'm looking to get that sort of velvety, smooth, almost powdery, chalky finish because I'm going to be using my marble inks onto the matte top coat. So this is just going to give me a good surface for my ink to grip to. So it's going to help me create the design and get the effect of a natural marble stone. So for best effect, use the Velvet Matte. You could use a shiny top coat as well, but I think that just doesn't give you the same finished result. So I'm going to be using my number 6 Mascara Rose Gold gel brush. You could use any gel brush for this design, but I like this one specifically because of the firmness of the bristles, and I'm going to be using a little bit of pure acetone as well. Now I know you might think pure acetone might be a little bit harsh on the nail, but I promise you we're using very little so it won't do any damage. So we're going to be using number 2 marble ink, and this is a blue shade. And we're going to be applying it onto our nail, and I'm going to be running it from one corner to the other corner of the nail. And I'm going to be leaving the sides of the design open. So as I do my application, you'll see where I apply my ink, and the sides will be left open because this is going to add to the effect of creating color difference. So sometimes when people apply marble inks, they apply too much, and then you just get this blast of color everywhere, and your design ends up becoming slightly messy because there's too much ink and you just don't know what to do with so much ink on the nail. So I've wiped off my brush and used very little ink and sort of spread it across the nail, as you can see, and remembering to keep my sides open. And what I'm doing is using the ink that is left in the bristles and just going over my application to darken it up a little bit. But just avoid using too much ink because you don't want to have your ink running all over the nail, because there's going to be some technique to getting that lines of the natural stone. So don't apply too much ink on the nail, just try and use what's on the brush, and you will see that it grips to the Velvet Matte top coat. So that's why we're using that Velvet Matte. Right, so here we go guys. I'm going to dip my brush into my acetone, and then I'm going to blot it down onto a lint-free wipe because we don't want to have way too much acetone saturating the ink. So just a little bit, just to get your bristles wet or damp, and we're going to start blotting down on the ink. So I'm using my brush and pressing down, and as I'm pressing down, you will notice these little lines forming in the marble ink. So as those lines form, I keep blotting and pressing and creating these lines. So this line is going to become the lines that form the stone design. So it's almost like if you sit with a piece of a marble stone, or you look at a marble top, you'll see all these different tones and lines running in the natural stone. So that's what those lines are going to end up looking like when we finish this design off. Now where I have the open spaces, you will see that I'm going to be using the ink that is on my bristles, which have been sort of deposited into the bristles from the center ink. I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be blotting it down onto the side. So I'm going to be taking ink from the one side and blotting it down on those clean open spaces. Here we go. And that's just going to start giving me the perception of different shades of blue. So there'll be dark shades, there'll be light shades, almost like a little bit of patchiness created. But if you use too much ink to begin with, you're never going to get that effect. It's just going to start looking slightly strange. So I would suggest working your ink over and almost depositing the color from the parts where the ink is to the empty spaces. Now all we do guys is we just keep working. So you can see my lines forming, and I just keep brushing around, pressing down and forming those lines. And not overworking my ink too much, because if you overwork it, you're going to lose the whole design. So just remember, don't use too much acetone and try not to overwork the design. I think that's the thing with nail art. Sometimes we overwork a design and then we lose the whole effect that we were wanting to create in the beginning. So it's a labor of love, guys. We've just got to be patient and blot down until you're happy with what you see in front of you. So I'm just pushing down and covering spaces and making sure all my white spaces that were open is slightly blue or has a tint of blue on it. And I'm just loving the dark and light effect of this marble ink. So once I'm happy with this, I am ready to top coat. So I'm just going to go in for a few more details, and then we're going to top coat it by using our mascara carbon top coat. Now you could use matte as well. It just depends on the finish that you want to go for, but I'm using the shiny top coat to finish this. So I'm going to go with my carbon and I'm going to give it one coat. And what I do with the top coat is I don't let it go into the light immediately once I've painted it. Just give it a few seconds, because what the top coat does is it almost melts the last little bits of the marble ink for you. So it's almost finishing off that design. Kind of like, I love referring to top coat as my filter of my nail. So it just finishes off your art and just smooths down any imperfections that you see in your work. So it just melts out the ink ever so slightly. And once you've got your top coat covering the nail and all your spaces are covered, no open spaces, make sure that you cure for 60 seconds. And there you go. How beautiful is that? So that's creating a natural stone effect using the Maskscara Marble Inks. Now don't be limited to color. We can do this with any color. We've tried it with some pink, we've tried it with some purple, and we've even added, as you can see, a little bit of glitter to our marble effect, and now it looks like something that comes from the deep ocean. So you just have to play around, because you can have endless fun with the Maskscara Marble Inks. So as you can see, I'm just loving this natural stone look. I love the way the colors have bled out, and it's really given me an awesome design. I love the depth that it gives as well. So all the lightness and the darkness just looks amazing. And as you can see, we've tried it with some other colors as well. So I think the possibilities are endless for you as nail techs playing around with this product. I would suggest sitting down with a few tips and playing around, using your brush, using a little bit of acetone, bleeding it out until you're happy with your design. And once you get the hang of it, it becomes so easy, and marble is such a popular nail art design. So have fun, don't forget to tag us in your work, and we hope that you enjoyed this video showing you more nail